I just wanted to give you guys the plan for the day. So I got up around 7:45. I did end up going to bed really late to get the video up. And I just had that feeling like I had to get it up within an hour of midnight. Basically what happened is the export wouldn't export, so I had some troubleshooting issues. I gave myself more than enough time to export it, I even had allotted for more than the usual amount of time, but sometimes that just is the way it happens. And it was a little bit disappointing. I ended up meditating while I was waiting for it to upload, so I did rest, and then I would when I would come back to, I would check on the export, and then once it was ready, I got it posted. It's up right now. And I'm just basically I've spent the last 20 minutes or so after brushing optimizing the titles for a lot of the videos. I did change the format recently. I changed them all to say page 1 title, page 2 title. The other thing I added after doing that is I still added in some descriptive words in brackets. So now I have a set format of how I want to make the titles. I have kind of like more my artistic writer side included in there, and then also almost the scientific algorithm enhancing type of words in there too. And I feel really good about it. I finally feel like the title changes themselves have taken up quite a bit of small chunks of time over time, but I'm happy about it. I'm so much more happier with it. All of chapter 2, which only has 2 videos in the playlist right now, they're good, but chapter 1 is all going to have to be fixed now with the added modification of the descriptive words in brackets. And so it has 2 videos done, and then I will do the rest. The plan for today is pretty basic. I will likely be sending a few more emails to some administration of local schools, as well as editing an essay that I have to do today. And then the last thing would be I have a session. And then of course I make moments throughout kind of for watching content, but I haven't really been, might not come across in the vlogs, though I am trying to show it a bit more, but I still do watch content and consume content, and I just want to make that clear so it doesn't come across as I'm like productive 100% of the time. I'm definitely not. I take my breaks, and I do still have time set aside for doom scrolling, but I feel like I'm mostly intentional about my scrolling. I usually have pretty specific creators and pages that I look at and check. And then in the in-between spaces, I'm going to be spending some time editing and batching content. Like I said, my goal is to get YouTube largely cleared. I'm wondering if I have an idea. There's something that I've been mentally thinking about, but now I know what to do. I've been doing these, I've done one, there's 2 now because the second one is going to go up. These videos where I style the bangs and try to figure out different ways to wear it. And I have 2 done, and I was going to continue with doing it, but the timing doesn't exactly line up very well with all the Vlogmas episodes that are going to go up, because I basically have until the end of November to get that hair content as well, and there's only so many openings left in the content that I've already scheduled. It's only like 6, and I already basically have that covered. So I just figured out what I think I'm going to do, and basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to post short clips from those pieces of content like I was planning to, and then within all my Vlogmas vlogs might not be on YouTube necessarily. I don't feel like I have to push that anyway. because there's other content. I don't know, we'll see. Because I don't want to be posting twice a day on shorts. I don't necessarily think that's a good idea either. If the goal is to have 14 days of Vlogmas, which is the goal that I'm going to set for myself, 14 days of the short form Vlogmas content, then I will have space where I will be able to put in the other videos where I'm doing my hair or my makeup, the content that I already have filmed. So I think that's the solution. I think it's that I just need to remember that there's only going to be about 14 vlogs. Of course, the reason I have to be a lot better about planning everything this time is because the Vlogmas vlogs can't go up in January. I post vlogs now. The next one that's gonna go up on a lot of my pages, the next few, they're from the summer. So I do post vlogs very late sometimes, and the thing is with Vlogmas, that can't happen. I can't have the Vlogmas vlogs outside of December. So it is almost like a time where I'm gonna be able to catch up on getting all of that out there. So I just have to get it organized. I can do it. Just came downstairs to grab my phone. Ooh, me and Basil have been doing yoga on the deck, patio, whatever you want to call it. And I just wanted to show you guys the vibe because it's beautiful. So I just set up here today. He kind of likes to be with me, but this is the vibe, guys. Yoga in the rain with Basil. Largely the yoga I did was slow and gentle and breathing centered, as Basil loves being on the mat. Isn't that so, boo-boos? Now I'm going to make breakfast and we're going to eat outside, and I'm going to enjoy the sound of the rain. Basil's being pitter-pattery. He wants attention. Doing downward dog, and he came under me and laid there. He moves around a bit, but that's kind of how our yoga goes. I try to take the mat and he tries to take it back. What I mean to say is when I'm doing yoga, he likes to be on the mat with me. So he'll take up as much space on the mat as he wants. But I love it when he does that. I love it. I don't want him to get upset. The mat I'm on today and my other mat, they're both outside. It's the mats we've been using since he was a puppy. He's been doing this since he was a puppy. He's always loved yoga and the yoga mats and being on the yoga mats. There will be a whole floor of space for him to lay on. And if my mat is out, he's taking up 2/3 of the mat. What you doing? And sometimes Basil likes to sit in my lap because he's a baby. I haven't mentioned this before, but Basil is a COVID dog. We got him in 2020 during COVID, and he is used to everyone being home and being around everyone. And so his disposition is really, he's more soft, but he's also really authentic. I think he has a good mix of a really healthy personality. I love his personality. He's hearing everything I say. I love his personality, and when he snuggles me. Okay, we're gonna go. I will be back with my breakfast. This is my breakfast today. I have the same Kopp's garlic sourdough with the edamame spread that I made yesterday. I had some left over. I have some more, so I'll probably use that somewhere else too. Just egg and then Frank's hot sauce. And I'm really excited about this. And I have some warm water with lime squeezed in. That's what I'm gonna be eating today. I'm just getting ready to go outside. It's a bit chillier today, so we're going to spend a good chunk of time editing an essay that I need to get back to a client right now. And I want to really be intentional about doing the things that are due I feel like I've gotten a lot better at it, but also this is my way of doing that. So the thing that's the most pressing right now is getting this essay back, because I did tell the student that I would have it back to them by this evening. So that's gonna happen next. And then the next big thing is, of course, I have a session tonight, and in the evening, I mean. And then after that, the next pressing thing would be, I've been planning the pivot for the Bumblebee tutoring. I'm just gonna check right now with you guys live to see if we've gotten any signups. Opening it up. Okay, logging in. Okay, still no signups. I just feel like I haven't really penetrated the market to reach the right people. I also just feel like this redirection is me being rerouted to an easier way. I just feel like there is a path where I do this and it's not going to require as much effort as having live weekly sessions. And we are going to be, this is going to be the part in the vlog where there's a big pivot, and I feel like you guys are going to see that live. No doesn't ever mean no. It means there's a better yes. It means that you need to wait for some reason. Maybe there's something you're overlooking. And then 3, the third thing it usually means is, what did I say first? It means there's something better or a better yes, or you have to wait for whatever reason. And I firmly believe those things, because God never says no without cause. I get a little bit, it's not that I'm like Miss Cheery or Miss Positive all the time. I do get annoyed. It does bother me. There's a jacket I want to wear today with this outfit that I really like to wear, and I'm gonna go grab it for you guys and show you. This is the jacket. It's Nike. You can tell by the big swoosh. And the reason it's really cool, this was a limited edition. I got it in Portland. We were there for the Lakers versus the Blazers in 2019, December of 2019. And you can wear it this way, which is probably how I'm gonna wear it today, because Basil is outside, and if it's furry, the fur is gonna stick to the outside, so I'm probably gonna wear it this way. But you can also wear it this way, which is the way I tend to wear it more normally. And this is one of my favorite outfits. Then the zipper, it can go both ways. And it makes a Nike swoosh. I'll show you. It makes a Nike swoosh. That's going to be my outfit. This is my outfit, but I'm gonna wear it, of course, like I said. I am outside now. I'm drinking pickle juice with hot water. Of course, Basil is here with me. And I just feel like I need to put on some moisturizer because my skin looks like it's a bit dry. I'm gonna start editing. I reviewed some footage that I made from today and the last few days, and I snippy snapped a little bit of it. That's what I did. And now we're gonna edit. A little bit, if I film from this way, I feel like my skin doesn't look as dry, but it also doesn't feel totally dry, but I feel like it's not as moisturized as it could be. And I didn't put my skincare on. I forgot. So I'm gonna go do that and I'll be right back. Here is my lunch. I boiled some potato and then I threw them in the air fryer. They have a little bit of butter, black pepper and salt on them. And then this is the edamame spread with avocado and some veggies. And then ketchup and basil. Of course, I'm not eating him. Are heading out for our walk. I'm gonna drink my iron juice when I get back because I have to wait 30 minutes now. I put butter on the fries, otherwise I was good to have the iron with that meal. Oh my God, Basil. I knew he was gonna do that, and look, now he's trying to get me to go in there. I have a student coming in a few hours, and in the meantime I'm going to go for a run. I did already walk Basil, but I do feel like running. I think I need a little bit of a boost, so we're gonna do that. For the most part, I'm doing well today. It's nothing like that. I actually feel really good. I also feel happy with the food I've been eating, and just my appetite in general is at a good place. I think when I update, I feel like I've been more protein conscious, and when that happens, I do tend to be full for longer. Definitely still experiencing that right now, but mostly what I crave is water and hydration. So I've also been better about my iron, so I think, yeah, 3 days now in a row I have supplemented iron, which is good for me because I tend to drop the ball on taking it consistently. I'll be good for a little while and then it'll get better, and then I'll kind of let off a little, and I think that's keeping me in a cycle of energy issues as well, because I definitely am struggling with my iron intake. It's something I constantly feel reminders about, and my mom really tries to get me to eat beets. I do really like my beet hummus, but I think I need more beets in my life. I need more beets in my life, the BEETS kind. And sleep-wise, I've been waking up between, I'd say on average between 7 to 8 right now, which is not my favorite place to be. Even though I get a lot done in the day and I don't feel a shortage of time. I wouldn't necessarily say I feel a shortage of time. I think I feel a pressure to not do too little in a day and not do too much. And I think the stress of that sometimes gets to me, where I'm very aware of the fact that I'm vlogging while I'm recovering from burnout, and very aware of the fact that I publicly talk about burnout, and I'm trying to fix certain patterns within myself and showcase that. I mean, I don't think anyone wants their story to be tragic, so I feel like I'm warranted in my feelings, but it's also a little bit stressful sometimes to have that constantly running in your head. It's like, should I do this? Should I do that? Should I hang out with a friend today? Or should I do a work task that I feel like I need to do because I told this person that I would get this back to them by this time? It is not that I have a shortage of time. I definitely don't. I don't feel that way. I feel like I load my plate. I feel like there's a lot I want to do. I feel like I've made motion and I figured out where things need to go, and that makes me feel really motivated, because things that get me stuck are when I feel confused about, usually when I feel confused about organization or structure, that's when I really get stuck and I avoid. It's not necessarily to do with procrastination in the sense that I think some people might think it is. For me, it's when I know what the problem is, but I hold on to it in my head. And the best way I've learned to deal with that is to actually voice it to someone. But I find that sometimes I'll just hold on to it for weeks and weeks, and that's the reason I get stuck sometimes. And I do feel like I would say my energy has been more balanced, especially more balanced than it was in some of those vlogs that I'm seeing from the summer. And I feel like it's been really healthy for me to be editing them right now, because it's a good reminder of the promises I made myself in the summer during periods of when I was healthy. And then I can see kind of the crash that comes, which is normal when you're recovering and when you're reestablishing routines and reestablishing life organization after, you know, I had to really stop for a while on a lot of things. And when you're reintroducing activities into your life, it's normal to have dips. But I also feel like overall I'm on an upward trajectory, even though there's little dips along the way. Overall, I feel like we're going like this. So when I hold on to too many things like that, emotionally or cognitively, it becomes really heavy, and then I get really tired. So we're trying not to do that anymore. I think that's the main pattern that needs to be fixed, because I've had that struggle even when I was in high school. I remember having it in elementary school when I would work on assignments. And I remember when I would have a breakthrough afterwards, it was like I would get things done and I was like the speed of light, like I was Buzz Lightyear. But then if I was at a point where something didn't make sense to me, or I felt stickiness, it did used to actually make me really upset too. And then I would kind of hold on to it and then let it stop me or keep me from things. And I think I am, to be fully honest, experiencing that a little bit with this assignment that I'm working on that I'm editing by working on it. And in spite of that cognitive, I guess you could call it a cognitive deficit or whatever it is, or impairment, I still managed to do really well in school. So it's just that when I do that, it builds up the idea of starting really high. So the energy it takes to start, like it builds up the energy it takes to start to the really high, where I have to put more into getting myself to do the thing than actually doing the thing itself. And that's the real pattern that I'm healing. If I look at what I have left to heal within me and what I have control over and accountability over, and that's the pattern I have to break. So right now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep moving. So I'm gonna take a 5 to 15 minute run, and then I'm gonna come back and we're gonna move through it. I ran for about 9-10 minutes, and I walked the rest of the way home. I just went to a local trail. Sorry about that, guys. It's a little bit getting settled in. So I have protein. This is protein and milk. I have Vega protein. It's the chocolate flavor. I'm just plugging in my charger. So what I was gonna say is, what I'm doing is I'm making sure, because this is already a task I'm feeling stickiness with, I'm making sure I have all the tools that I need so I don't have to get up and go. I find when I'm like this, I can't give myself a reason to really step away, because then it's harder to get back. So I'm plugging in my charger first and foremost. And I'm starting by setting a 10-minute timer. So I'm gonna start it now. I'm just gonna have that in front of me. So I'm making I'm making a promise to myself to work on this for 10 minutes. Okay, I worked on the editing, and then I spoke with my student on the phone to clarify some things and then make a bit of a study plan for the other assignments that are in the course for the rest of the semester. And now I'm going to go take a shower and prepare for my next session, which is coming up. That's the next thing on my to-dos for today. I love it when I've walked Basil before the evening time, because then I have the option of walking him again if I want to in the evening, but also the heaviness of it is gone. I love walking him, don't get me wrong. It's not that, it's just that I don't love the feeling of dragging it out the whole day. I end up feeling really bad for him, and he deserves, my dog is amazing. I love him so much. He deserves my best, and I just want to give him my best. I feel like the weight of that sometimes can be a little bit crushing, which is usually how love and care is, a little bit crushing sometimes, but mostly healing and mostly lightening, which you see when we spend time together. The walk itself is usually very light, and spending time together is usually very light. It's more like making sure it was different when I was doing our walk at a set time every day before, but now since I've been giving myself a little bit more flexibility, I feel like sometimes it can drag on, and then it's the guilt. So dramatic, but I think about that scene in This Is Us with Rebecca, and what was the dad's name? I know it's Randall's the kid, their dad, and he's been working more and drinking, and she has a hard conversation with him and tells him that the kids are really cute and they really deserve a 10. Let me come up with a quote because it's worth saying. Anyways, I can't find the quote. It's in season 1 when he's drinking and she confronts him on his drinking. And if you haven't seen it, I would highly recommend. I think This Is Us is on Netflix, maybe. It's on Disney Plus, and I think you can purchase it on Prime. It used to be on Netflix. That's where I originally watched it. Basil and I used to watch it together when he was a puppy. I remember back then, because he was so small, he would sit in my lap, and when I would sit on the couch and we would watch the episode. That was one of my core memories with him. I think that was early on in when we brought him home. Anyways, enough lollygagging. I have to go take a shower and get ready for this session. Here is my outfit, just some black pants. They're really comfy, and this really big sweater. It's from Zara. It's really old.